how is Cannes going for you? How is it Cannes treating you these days?
Honestly, it's fantastic to be here. Besides the weather, that you can't really complain. But
no.
the people, the vibe in general, really bribing.
So obviously a lot of parties, a lot of events. I mean, we're not just here for that, but it's really important as well. But we will see how we can use the technology as well that you've been working on to actually create content at these events, especially the Cannes Film Festival. And well, first we can start talking a bit about how the Meta and the Ray-Ban AI glasses are combining. It's an intersection a bit between culture, technology, but also style, right? So do you want to, maybe we could start talking about that, right, to start the conversation?
Yes, absolutely. It's great to be here with all of you. The Ray-Ban Meta glasses is interesting because they're bringing three different worlds into one. Just like you said, style comes from an iconic brand like Ray-Ban. They've been doing glasses, sunglasses for almost 100 years. And we, from the Meta side, are bringing the technology. And what is interesting is what we're looking at to market this device is culture. Mm-hmm. We believe that wearables, the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, are a way for people to be more present. We have been living through a world where you're really connected to your mobile phones, but there is a way where you can be more in the moment, ultimately.
Especially when we see it like events, concerts, like we see phones all around, so being able to film without taking your phone out, but still doing it. It's like if you don't know it's here, I think it's really important in the coming ways of marketing events, right? And creating social media content, right? But we could start a bit about talking about the technology as well that are in these glasses, right? Because I think you can do even like AI live translation. You can do visual search, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the main thing for social is creating content hands-free, right? Do you want to talk a bit about the technology involved in that?
Yes, 100%. So the live translation is a new feature that we launched about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It is mind-blowing, even for me working at Meta. You could be talking in French and the glasses will be translating in English so I could understand. They also have Spanish, they have Italian. So it's the beginning, it's the tip of the iceberg, but it just shows you the potential, not only for content creation, but for communication. The fact that two people that don't speak the same language will be able to easily communicate, it's something that it wasn't think of maybe like 5 years ago. And when it comes to content creation, it's really interesting because besides sports cameras, it was really, really hard to get a real POV. This is the first time that is hands-free and completely POV, and that opens up a lot of opportunities for content creation. We have a brand that we've been champion creators from day one, and we hear what they say and make changes based on what they tell us about the product. And one of the first things that they say is absolutely amazing, the fact that I can communicate my experience in first person. Mm-hmm.
So it's really advanced technology, but also, which is great, is that it's obviously connected with an iconic brand, right? They're really cool glasses as well. They're not just a technology, Ray-Ban, of course. So how did it start? Like, how did this partnership between the two brands started, and how is it going?
It's going fantastic, honestly. It's I like to joke with the Luxottica team that Meta is the nerd cousin when they're the cool cousin. But together, we bring to the table something that is really unique. Ultimately, there's other wearables in the market, but you can't replicate what Ray-Ban brings, the experience, the unique styles, and also the technology that Meta comes with. It's something that it's been a beautiful experience. And again, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more coming from this partnership.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, in this day and age, like, it's all about content, especially for a brand, right? And being able to capture content in a different way is obviously what you want and what is making a difference. But when you work with creators, I think there's, I don't know how many in total, but I think you have a lot of creators who really embraced the technology, right, to create content in a novel way, and in a way to connect with their audiences as well. But how do you work with creators specifically for them to kind of tap into this technology for creating more content for social media? How do you work with them? Is there a learning curve around the technology? Yeah, I'd be curious to know.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but Ray-Ban Meta is a social first and creators first brand. And I work in many companies before, but this is the first time that I'm seeing that is truly the ethos of the brand. We have a team dedicated to cultural marketing. Okay. So we go to very specific cultural events and we bring creators along with us. And we also have different work streams like Always On. The creator is key for the product because ultimately what we're doing from a marketing point of view is normalize the use of wearables. As I mentioned earlier, we believe there is a better way to communicate. You don't have to be always connected to your phone. And bringing creators on this journey with us, they have massive followings. They know how to translate complicated messages about technology in very simple ways. When I work with creators and also my team, I always tell them, do not tell about the future, show them. It's very important to do it in simple ways that people can relate to. Exactly. And technology, in many ways, it could be overwhelming at times. However, cultural moments, creators, celebrities, and just showing them that the glasses are a vehicle for you to create content, to communicate, to translate real time. It's been great, and we're seeing a massive learning curve. People have been really receptive about getting glasses. Everyone that we do demos is super excited about the possibilities of what you can do with Ray-Ban Meta.
I think it's also a great way to show what we can do with the technology, because first you see the content and say, oh, that's very cool. And then you want to understand how to achieve that. And I think it's a good way to start approaching creatively the use of technology rather than just saying there is this tech to do that. You say, we shot that with this tech, here is how you can do it, right? Also big campaigns, right? I mean, we've seen a very successful campaign with the Super Bowl as well. Maybe you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the first ad of the Super Bowl for Ray-Ban Meta was a big moment, and it was all about scalability. It was a bit of a test for the team, making sure that the product had a platform for mass reception almost. Like the Super Bowl is probably the biggest sport event in the world. And very interestingly, we study the best performing ads for the last 10 years in order to create this ad. Not only from a creative point of view, the rollout, how other successful ads have been dropping hints. What did they do in real time? What do they do at the event there? And we created something that it was funny because that was one of the key elements that the Super Bowl's ad has to be relatable, it has to be funny, but also explain the product really well through celebrities. And once again, I think the team did a fantastic job when it comes to taking the technology, which could be complicated, and explaining for a mass audience, ultimately.
Well, obviously, we're in Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival, so are we expecting to see these glasses in movies, or has they been used already by some known director? I think the answer is yes, of course, but maybe you want to tell us more about that?
Yes, so we work with Matthew Vaughn, director Kingsman, and he created a very interesting movie completely shot on Ray-Ban Meta. It was shot in Menlo Park in the headquarters of Meta, and it had Benson Boone in it. which is a fantastic stunt actor, believe it or not. It's called Stunt Nuts because that's his new series, the Stunt Nuts. But as you said, Florian, there is a very interesting element when it comes to the camera. Like the camera is really good, and we're seeing a lot of people doing very interesting things in this space. So I would say stay tuned. There's a lot more coming.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what's coming, or is it all very confidential?
But right now in Cannes, it's been great. We had the opportunity to meet Damson, the Belgian rapper. He just released his first movie, and it opens up a lot of opportunities for us. Being in a place like this, having a product that is great for content creation, POV perspective, hands-free. There's definitely a few interesting things that we're working on, and we probably will be able to share more very soon.
I'm looking forward to hearing more. And in this couple of events, like such as, for example, Cannes or the coming one, how do you also connect the brand with your consumers as well? I guess that's really helping to connect and to bring visibility to the product and the technology as well, right? These kind of events like the Cannes Film Festival, for example.
Yes, so Cannes is the first event that we're doing in Europe with the European team. And what is very interesting about this is it's almost been a test. We've done Met Gala, we've done the Super Bowl, we've done Coachella, but being culturally relevant means that we need to show up in these kind of events. And we need to bring creators with us, show what they can do with the glasses. And also in future events, it opens a lot of possibilities for us. Right now, we're doing a little bit of like white glove demos with people from the industry. And showing the product, we get a lot of feedback. It's great to be here for the visibility, but ultimately it's about the emotional connection. Being able to see firsthand how people react in the music industry, entertainment industries, sports, and we get that feedback, and everything goes back to our engineer team to continue improving and optimizing the product.
Sounds exciting. And then I guess to close, and as the last question, what would be the last kind of key takeaways for you from Cannes this year? Because you said you were kind of in a phase of testing different festival events. About Cannes, what makes it very different, and where do you think you will hopefully come back next year with even more for creators?
Yeah, definitely coming back. The experience has been fantastic. The networking, the fact that everyone has been so welcoming to a product that's relatively new in the market. Luckily, we work with Raven, and people are used to wearing glasses. It's more about explaining what additional things you can do with these glasses. And it opens up a lot of possibilities for us. Cannes Film Festival, we talked about the possibilities of doing movies in the future. I think there's a lot that it could be done in this space. And the product is improving with every updates. So stay tuned. I think there's definitely more to come.
Well, it was great to talk, and really looking forward to seeing the future of this technology and how it can be used creatively. Maybe the next interview we should both record it with the glasses, right? For the next year. Let's do that next year.
100%.
Well, thanks. Thank you very much, and thanks everyone for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.